All right, so in order for us to learn Unix, a lot of people don't have a Unix system sitting there right there in front of them. And so what we're going to do, most people have Windows or Macintosh, maybe Linux. And if you have Linux, that's close enough as for learning Unix. But we're going to assume you're running a Windows machine. In order for us to get Linux on that Unix machine, on that Windows machine, we're going to use what's called a virtual computer. Now, the way a virtual computer works is that it sits on top of your real computer. Let me show you, for example, how this looks. Let's say we have a computer, and a computer is composed of what? So a computer, we're going to have our hard drives, our network, you'll have memory, which is called RAM. You'll have the I/O devices like PCI cards, etc. And that's what makes a computer go, all right? But in order for that computer to operate, we need to install on top of it an operating system. And so let's go ahead, and those operating systems you've heard of, those are usually Windows or Mac OS X or Ubuntu Linux or Debian Linux or Red Hat Linux, right? There's so many of them out there. And so we'll go ahead and on top of the, we'll add our operating system. Again, this could be Windows, Mac. All right. Now, in order for the virtual machine to work, we need to install a fake computer, a virtual computer. So that's what the software VirtualBox allows us to do. We'll show you that in a minute. So let's go ahead and create our virtual computer. And we're just showing that it's only taking part of the system. We can have as many virtual computers as your computer support. I've seen cases where people have had 14, 20, 50 virtual computers. Developers love using this because what it allows them to do is they can develop on multiple operating systems at the same time. So here we're going to have our virtual computer. So we've got some virtual hard drive, some virtual network, virtual memory. And then on top of that, we're going to install a real operating system. But we're tricking the operating system into thinking it's installing on a regular computer, even though it's just a virtual computer. So we're going to use, this week, we're going to use Debian Linux. But this could be the virtual operating system could be Linux, it could be Windows again. Maybe you want to do a version of Windows 98 if you're just still doing some work with that operating system. This could be Ubuntu and so on. So, all right, now, where do we get the virtual operating system from, and where do we get the software from? So let's go to our browser, and we're going to go to the website called VirtualBox.org. And here you can download the software to install the virtual machine. Now, you'll click on Downloads. That'll take you to this window here. And you've got your choices of downloading VirtualBox for Windows, OS X for Mac, and so on. There's some Linux versions. So you'll click the version you want here. We're going to click on x86. It's going to be about 100 megabytes. And let that download. Now, as that's downloading, we also are going to want to install the extension pack. So what's the extension pack? What's that all about? The purpose of the extension pack is to make it so that our thumb drives work properly. So make sure you download that as well. Just click all supported platforms. There's about 10 megabytes. That'll download and get that going. Now, once you have the software downloaded, we can create our virtual machine. So let's go ahead and get VirtualBox installed. So I'm using the Google Chrome browser, and on this Chrome browser, we see that our download is complete. We just click right here on VirtualBox, and that'll start the installation process on Windows machine. We'll click Run. And you can read over what it's all about here. Otherwise, click Next. And this is going to install the browser right on your system inside of the Program Files folder. Click Next. You can, again, choose a different place for it. And then you can choose as to how you want it to appear on your computer. And since we have to virtualize the network, it's going to actually use your current network card to complete that, to make sure you've got network defined for your computer, for your virtual computer. So yes, we want to complete the installation, and we'll let that get going. Now, Oracle is a trusted vendor, so go ahead and always trust software from Oracle. Click Install, and then we'll go ahead and start VirtualBox. Now, down below here, it's popped up as Start a VirtualBox, and here it is here. We'll go ahead, and it gives you a warning about some virtual drives that are not accessible. We're okay with that because we're going to create our own new virtual hard drive. So for now, we're going to ignore this message, and we won't need to see it again. And on your systems, we might have a system already installed that they provide. There may be nothing there. Don't worry about that. But what we do need to do is install the extension pack. So now that we have VirtualBox up and running, we'll go here back to our Google Chrome and click on the extension pack for that to install. And we'll go ahead and install that. And now our virtual machine is all set and ready to go for installing the software. Now, the version of for Unix, there are different versions and different flavors we can use. There's Debian, there's Ubuntu, there's Red Hat, CentOS. So what we'll do in the next video is show you where to download the software and how to get that installed as your virtual machine into VirtualBox.